You think they're pulling away, but they're not. And that's where this gets confusing. You're in the relationship and you feel the shift. One moment they're present, engaged, connected, and you're thinking, this feels great, this is good. And then something changes. They are distracted. They are distant, not quite there in the same way. And instantly your mind starts filling in the gaps with questions like, what just happened? Did I say something? Are they losing interest? And just like that, the overthinking starts. But here's the part most people miss. What you're experiencing is not always a change in how they feel about you. It's often a change in how their attention is working. And if they have ADHD, especially if it's undiagnosed, their attention doesn't move in a straight line. It locks in, then it drops. It locks in, then it drops. And when it drops, you feel it. You feel it as disconnection. But for them, it's not emotional withdrawal. It's a shift in focus. And this is where everything starts to get misread, because you are responding from a place emotionally and they are experiencing it cognitively. That's two completely different things. So what do? You try to close the gap. You ask for more reassurance, more presence, more attention for yourself, more consistency, because from your side, that makes perfect sense. You're trying to feel secure. You're trying to understand what's going on. But from their side, it lands completely differently. It feels like pressure, like they're being asked to stay in a state they can't always maintain. And then something else happens. They pull back more, not because they don't care about you, but because they feel overwhelmed, or they don't know how to meet what's being asked of them in that moment. And now you're both in it. You feel more distance, so you push for clarity. They feel more pressure, so they withdraw. And that gap grows and grows, and that's the cycle. And if you don't see it clearly, you will keep reacting to it in the same way because it feels personal. But it's not always personal. It's a pattern, and that distinction changes everything, because if you keep interpreting their shifts in attention as shifts in feeling, you will keep responding in a way that creates more tension, more confusion, and more emotional distance. And over time, it starts to wear you down. You question yourself, you start questioning your needs, your expectations, and you adjust how you show up. Maybe you say less, maybe you hold things in, maybe you try not to be too much, and slowly you lose clarity. So the shift is this. You stop assuming that inconsistency means a lack of care. You start looking at the pattern. You separate attention from intention, because ADHD affects how someone shows up, not always how they feel. But this matters too. Understanding this does not mean you ignore your experience. If you feel consistently disconnected, that matters. If something feels unstable, of course that matters. So instead of reacting in the moment, you change how you communicate. You don't push harder, you get clearer. You choose the moment. You slow it down. You explain how it feels for you, not what they're doing wrong. And that creates a completely different kind of conversation, one where they can understand the impact and you can understand the pattern. And this is where things begin to shift in a positive way, because now it's not you versus them, it's both of you understanding what actually is happening and working with it, not against it. And at the same time, you stay connected to yourself, because the more you understand about yourself, accept about yourself, and you ground yourself, the less you rely on their moment-to-moment behavior to feel secure. And that changes everything, because now you're not chasing stability, you're creating it. And when this happens, the relationship starts to feel healthier, it starts to feel different, more balanced, more stable and clear. Not perfect, nothing is perfect, but you feel understood and they feel understood. And clarity removes a lot of confusion that keeps people stuck. So if this resonates, take a moment and reflect. Have you been interpreting attention as emotion? Because that one shift can completely change how you see your relationship. And if you want to go deeper into understanding yourself, your patterns, and building a stronger relationship with yourself and others, my book, Fix Me, is linked below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.